Hey guys, I wanted to update you on how May was. Guys, it was probably the busiest month that I've ever had. Like, recounting it, I'm like, how did I survive and get through all of this? But, like, yeah, so May was a really busy month because, if you can tell, I'm not in the same space I usually am, and that's because I've moved. Yeah, so I'm in a new place, not too far away from my old place, but still in LA. But yeah, God just moved and worked to have me here. And I'm really thankful that God just opened a door in a place that I could afford, and a place that's safe, and I feel like very loved to be in this place. So I'm really excited for that, and yeah, but it also aligns with what I feel like God has been doing, and that's um, so last month I talked about how God was teaching me that He is Jehovah Rohi, which means the Lord is my shepherd. And in that, God's been leading me specifically to uncomfortable situations. And one of those things being moving. Another one of those things, because this conversation might sound familiar, is I did a podcast. So I did a podcast for the Well House Productions, for the Well House podcast, I guess. And so in that, we talk about the sermons that were happening at Venice Church, and we expand upon the idea that was preached. And so we were talking about how faith without works is dead, and that's in James, the book of James. And so yeah, just that if we have faith in God and trust Him, that it will show through our actions, that we will take actions of faith. And so I feel like that's my life right now, where God's really testing me in that. Because He's leading me to uncomfortable places that I might not necessarily have wanted, like moving or doing the podcast, and just, stretching my uncomfortability to trust Him and know that it's for my good. Um, so knowing that these things are for my good, and other things, like I mentioned last month, that I was part of the Groundlings diversity showcase that I was taking. Like, there were 4 weeks of classes, and then it would be a performance on stage, which I was terrified of, but I felt like God was leading me to do that. And so yeah, we did it, and it was really good. It was really awesome, and yeah, our teacher was amazing, and he led us to do things that, like, really grew us, and he had us play games on stage that would showcase our strengths. So it just went really well. The performance went really well, and it was great to just meet everyone and get to know everyone on such a deeper level, and support one another. And yeah, they just have amazing talents. And so not only do we have a great show, but it really touched me of how many people came to support me. Um, People from my acting classes, and also people from church, and just coming together. And I was just so thankful for everyone, and it is honestly very healing for me, because in the past I've had where people said they were coming but then they weren't able to show up, and I think that really affected me. So to see that people can show up for me was just such a blessing. And yeah, so that was another thing that was good, and because I took that step of faith. And another uncomfortable thing that God has put my way is that I am actually going to be in a play. So it's called The Moon Play, and it's going to be, we're going to perform it at the She LA Arts Summer Theater Festival. And so that's July 13th and 16th in LA. And I'll post a link down below if you want. Tickets are $30. So come if you can, but if you can't, totally understandable. But yeah, someone reached out to me asking if I might be interested in maybe submit to, to audition for a role. And I think I was very nervous about it because I've never done a play. And yeah, I don't know, but it felt like the next step that God wanted me to do to grow and stretch me. But I was like trying to think of reasons or excuses not to, but I was like, oh, I'll just I'll audition. And so I did, and then I got offered the role of a supporting role, like the best friend to the main character, and I was like, whoa. And so God opened that door, and yeah, having to pray and navigate and have discernment if I wanted to do it, because you know, it's not like a Christian play or anything, so there's dialogue or words or themes that might not exactly be aligned with my beliefs or things. But praying about it, like I just like really like this character, and I had peace about it, that this character in it, like she was wild before, but she is now like much more mature and grounded, and is just loving. She's always loved her friend who's had like a lot of struggles, and just caring for her the best she can. And so yeah, I'm excited to portray Eve in the play. So yeah, excited about that, and more uncomfortability, but trusting and knowing that it's for my good. And then the last thing that God has led me to do, which is uncomfortable, is that I am going to be discipling someone. And so that's like mentoring, but like a spiritual mentoring, like helping them to know how to walk in their faith with like Christ at the center of their life. What does that look like in the day to day? And so, yeah, discipling someone. And I was open to discipling because I've done it in the past, but this person I'm discipling is actually a good amount older than me. And so I think I was very uncomfortable and uneasy about that, because I'm like, I'm used to like pouring into the youth kids, because I'm like, oh, I went through that, or oh, I know that, yeah, I've been through that. And so like I felt like there's this relatability, but I'm not sure how it's going to translate for someone older than me. But that makes me have to rely on God even more, and just help him to lead me to help lead her. And so, yeah, I'm open to it, and again, trusting that God's leading me there for a reason. And so, yeah, that was a lot of my month. And so it was all that busyness, plus the idea of packing like crazy to be out before June, which I didn't succeed. I left by like 10:30 p.m. on June 1st, so that was my bad. But praise God for grace, like in that someone they were okay with me being there still, and just helping me get here. And then on top of that, I had to go back to Arizona because I had like tooth pain, and I ended up having to get a root canal. And then on top of that, I said yes to many different like social gathering meetings, and I met up with like 8 different people this past month, just like catching up with people. And I was like, how did I do that? But I did, like in LA and in Arizona. So that added a lot of busyness. And then I'm a bridesmaid, if you don't remember. So like we had the bridal shower this month, or in May too. So it was like, we had so much. I was like the cherry on top of a very full month. And so, yep, that was me. And also 8 auditions, and I think I didn't really look. I know 1 callback at least. So, yeah, I was busy, but I know that I only got through all of it by the grace of God. So, yeah. We'll see what June brings. Like, that was a lot, but now to see where this is all going and leading to, right? So, yeah, excited for June. How was your guys' May? Please update me. Let me know how I can be praying for you. Pray for me for strength and endurance as I'm feeling the exhaustion from it all. But also, yeah, I'm glad that I have like hope about the future. Okay, bye guys.